Matt here with American Survival Co. And today I want to show you guys a really simple method of making a set of tongs. These things are invaluable around the fire pit, out in the wilderness, and super simple to make. So stay tuned and we'll jump right into it. So why a set of tongs? Well, because around the campfire, these things have a lot of uses, whether that's moving coals around to get the flames going back, maybe you're picking up hot rocks to put around you, or maybe even you got to do a rock boil to purify water. You can pick up those hot rocks and dump them into your container, whatever that might be. The other side to that is if you are in a real survival situation and you can get a fire going, if you're trying to survive, it's probably going to feel like the world is kind of falling down around you and you don't have much control over your situation. Little things like this, being able to manipulate your immediate environment, gives you that sense of some kind of control over your circumstances and what's happening to you, and that can be a huge morale booster. So just having something as simple as a set of tongs can really be a game changer for you. So let's dive in to how I make these. One thing I like about this is they've got a lot of spring to them. I've seen a lot of different designs and styles, but let's dive into how I make mine. So of course there are many different materials that we can use to make a set of tongs. My personal favorite, and plentiful here in the Ozarks, is a piece of hickory. Now we could use a young sapling or a young limb that's really green, but we want to use a green material. So in order to start the process, I'm just going to remove these smaller limbs from what is going to become my tongs. And then we're left with essentially just a stick, probably about the diameter of my index finger. You can go a little bit smaller than that, but about index finger size works well for me. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball this, and I'm going to find what, at least from my eyes, looks to be about the center. May look a little off to you on the screen, but what I'm going to do, I've already got kind of a bow happening here, so I'm just going to go with that, and that's going to be the direction I bend this. So what I need to do is I'm going to create a V notch, and I'm going to go about halfway through the stick to make that happen. And I'm just going to remove that material, and I'll try and turn to where hopefully maybe you guys can see what's going on here. And it's a pretty wide V. I don't want to get it too big. And just remove that material until I get about halfway through the stick. Now hickory is really nice for this because it's not real brittle, and I like the young saplings with this kind of green skin on them because it'll have some flex and some give to it, and I'll show you why that's important in just a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to bend this down where I've removed that material. I'm going to bend it down, and what's going to happen is, see if I can get close enough for you to see what's going on. I don't know if you can see, we have whitewood here, and then we have the bark that slipped off to the side on both sides of this, and that bark helps with that spring. Now you notice when we break this, about maybe a quarter of those fibers are actually going to break, but the fibers that remain in the center of the V, they're going to stay strong, and this bark that splits the sides should help us retain some of that spring to it. So let's see, maybe just a hair more material removed, and let's see if that's going to give us what we need. Now I don't know if you can see here, but you see where it's starting to split here, and that bark is going to come over here and over here to this side. So we bend that on around. You see how that's happening? Hopefully to give some focus to that. But we've got our whitewood just like we did on the other one, and the bark split to both sides. Now I've got some spring in my tongs. One other thing I want to do is I'm going to try and cut these off even so that it's going to make it easier for me to actually pick up material from the fire. And one thing I don't want is like nodules or bumps or something in here that's going to prevent this from coming down and making full contact on whatever it is that I'm trying to hold. So the more of that I remove and get a nice flush, flat surface happening here and here, then we get really good contact going on. I'm just going to remove a little bit of this hump here. And now I should have really, really good contact to where even something as thin as my blade, I should be able to hold that. So I can certainly pick up a rock or a piece of coal or whatever the case might be. But I've seen different designs where there's a stick here to where these are bent around. For me, that's one more component that I've got to make or mess with. And this will last a really long time and retain that spring to it. So really super simple, easy set of tongs. You can obviously make these things longer to give you more reach into the fire, but if you're doing, you know, a small fire to stay warm, probably something that's small like this is going to be plenty enough to move things around. So there you have it. There's a super simple set of tongs that will manipulate things around your fire, do what you need to do, and it doesn't get much easier than that. So hope you guys picked up something new. Any questions or comments, hit us up down below, hit that like and subscribe button. Hope to see you guys in the field soon. Come train with us.